I'm going to tell you how not to get scammed as a speaker.
How'd you do that?
I see that success is not something you pursue, it is something you are.
I remember a while ago, I got an email from a church, and the church said, hey, we want to hire you for an event, it's X date, and how much do you charge, blah, blah, blah. So I respond and I say, okay, it's going to cost this much. They're like, all right, cool. And it took me a second to realize it was a scam. Luckily, I didn't get scammed. And I'm going to show you how to spot a scam and how not to get scammed. I'm going to show you how to build your speaking business in a way that's practically scam proof. So the way a lot of these scams work is they'll send you an email almost like they want to book you, like they want to hire you as a speaker. They say like, hey, we're with Church XYZ. The event is June 22nd, and there's going to be 2,000 people there. They give you all this information. They say, what do you charge? And the event is almost always overseas. So at a certain point, you quote your fee, and they agree. They say, okay, cool. Send us the contract. Then, before they sign the contract, they say, oh, by the way, do you have a work visa? And it just so happens, if you don't, they can help you out with it. Or maybe they just send you too much money in a money order or something, and they want you to send a little bit back. And before you know it, you get scammed. So here's how to spot a scam. You can tell it's a scam if they give you all the information you need. I mean, practically all the information you need. That's one way to first kind of spot a scam, because a lot of people, when they hire you, unless they're a legit professional meeting planner who's been doing this forever, they very rarely give you all the information you need because they don't know all the information you need. So when I get an email where they literally answer everything and the only question that remains is my price, I'm thinking like, it's interesting. You can also tell it's a scam if they ask you to return any money. Because the way that works is they simply give you a bad check, and they, let's say you quote them $15,000. They send you $17,000, and they say, oh, whoops, can you give us the $2,000 back? So the check doesn't really work, but you give them $2,000 out of your account, so now you're out $2,000. Another way really is if they ask you to pay them in any way whatsoever, whether it's to help you get a work visa, to pay them in any way. That's a really easy way to tell if it's a scam. Another easy way is if they give you credentials that sound legit. So far, I've gotten one from a church, from a sergeant, a lot of military places, and all of these were scams. They do that because these places, the military, a church, they naturally have good street cred. So when they come up to you and they say, hey, I'm from a church, or hey, I'm the sergeant, I'm the commander, and all this stuff, when they say all that, they think in terms of, oh, they're borrowing credibility. Another way to tell is if they contact you from a Gmail or a Yahoo email account or Hotmail, whatever, instead of their main email account that's supposed to be with the actual website. And a very easy way to tell is if there's a mismatch in names. So maybe they sign the bottom of the email with Jane Doe, but the actual email, the sender's name in the email says something like Martha Brown. And you also know it's a scam if they contact you for a big event, even though you're a small-time speaker. What? Don't let your ego get in the way. If you are a small-time speaker, if your website is horrible, if your marketing materials are horrible, and they're contacting you to do an event for 2,000 people, they're willing to give you 20 grand, 25 grand, but really the biggest event you did was for 200 people max, and you only charge around $800, $1,000, and now all of a sudden out of nowhere you're getting contact for this huge event. Don't let your ego get in the way, because they know the speakers who really respond are the ones who will let their ego get in the way. They're the ones who say, oh my goodness, this is it, this is my shot, I'm going to be on stage with 5,000 people in this huge event, and that ego gets in your way, all that emotion gets in the way. And something really, really smart that they do that's another indicator of a scam is they essentially contact you with only about 4 weeks away for the event. And they do this because they want you to hurry up with the decision. because it just doesn't match up. When they contact you, usually it's a bigger event, and bigger events, they always plan it way in advance, especially with a speaker, and they're looking for a top-notch speaker. They're paying 15 grand or 10 grand, whatever they're paying. They always plan it way in advance. So when they contact you and say, hey, it's 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away, they want you to hurry up with your decision. All these are just indicators. I mean, just because someone gives you all the information that you need for an event doesn't mean they're a scam artist. It just indicates that, hey, maybe you should look out for it. But how do you not get scammed? First thing, you have to recognize the email, but the way you set up your business is very simple. You always, always, always get a deposit. You don't spend money on anything whatsoever until you have the money in your bank. Don't spend money on a plane ticket. Don't spend money on a hotel. Don't give them money for anything. Don't register, nothing. You don't spend any money until they give you your deposit. Now, if they buy your plane ticket, if they buy your hotel room, then it's probably not a scam, because scam artists will not spend money on you. They want you to send them the money. But really, the way you make your entire speaking business scam proof is to simply say, okay, send the deposit, and then from there, make sure you're never giving them any money. There's literally no reason for you as a speaker to give them money.